This is the AI Turret, Ubiquiti's brand new, biggest, beefiest AI camera. I'll put the specs up on the screen, but the short version is it's a 4K camera with a 110-degree viewing angle and 131 feet of nighttime IR vision. It has face and license plate recognition, and for the first time ever, a slot for a micro SD card for what they're calling edge recording, and I can't wait to test that out. Let's get it unboxed. As usual, inside the box you have your getting started guide. Now, I actually sort of unboxed this on my live stream a couple of days ago because it arrived while I was live and I just had to run and go and get it. So that's why you'll see some of the stickers are already taken off. Inside the box you have this cute little container. Fezzes are cool, but the main attraction is directly underneath. I've already taken the stickers off the front. It does come with the stickers on it, but you'll see this is a solid camera. This is a beefy boy, has a foot-long tail. Let's put this aside and get to the rest of the box, just so that I can get through that part. You have your reading materials as usual. And then inside the rest of the box here is the mounting equipment, which I haven't taken out yet, so let's take a look at this together. You have the rest of the back mount, which is really quite solid. Go over that in a second. Mounting bracket plate in case you want to put that in a drop ceiling. Mounting cutout with Ubiquiti level as usual. And then underneath all of that, you have the waterproof tip that goes on the end of the tail to securely waterproof your cable. Clips on like so. 3 different mounting kit, hardware bags, little screws and anchors, security key, and what looks to be a Allen wrench that's likely for the little security box around the SD card slot, which I'll show you in a second, and these are the long screws for the ceiling mount. Moving on to the camera, obviously here you have a light on the front that is an integrated LED for nighttime color vision. You've got 2 microphones on the front which form the far field microphone array for really good sound recording, as well as the very wide angle lens and your IR on the side. On the back of the camera, you have the point where your tail comes out. No, to my knowledge, you cannot cut this and just re-terminate in Ethernet as far as I know. And if you rotate the camera around to the back side here, you can see access to the new security door, behind which lies the micro SD card slot. Okay, unscrew that door, and out comes the door with an integrated tab for it to hold on so you don't lose it. Inside you have your reset button and, of course, the micro SD card slot. The minimum on the micro SD card slot is 64 gig. I'm putting in a 128 because it's what I happen to have on hand. And then it very easily just screws right back into place. Really solid design, and I am looking forward to see what the capabilities are of the edge recording and how that's going to work. Rest assured, unless a criminal comes and completely takes the camera off of the wall that you're mounting it on, they're not going to be able to access that SD card slot. And even if they do, they would have to also have a screwdriver in order to get in there and to open it, and it's using special hex screws. This is the beefy mounting plate, which has instructions for how to secure the cable with the latch to prevent the camera from falling out during on-wall installation. And you can run the cable directly through here if you're not going to be running it into the wall behind it. I really like the rubberized grip seat that they have for the camera that sits in here, and then like all the other Ubiquiti mounts, you just line this up and screw it directly into the mount on the wall. To give you a size comparison, I have here the G5 Dome Ultra, which as you know is itty bitty, and well, my iPhone for funsies, and the new AI Turret, which is quite a bit bigger. For full proper size testing, this is what we're looking at. The AI Turret is significantly larger, to the point where I could hide probably 2 of these behind it, peekaboo, without being able to see it. All right, let's get this up on the test stand and take a look at some footage. All right, so I've got the AI Turret now up on the test rig right next to my AI Pro with the Vision Enhancer attachment. I also wanted to show you I found my G5 Ultra, so to give you a little size comparison, take a look at this. The AI Turret is significantly bigger than the G5 Turret Ultra, but also has a lot more capabilities, so that is to be somewhat expected. Now another thing to note is that the AI Turret does run hot, but when it's installed correctly, the temperature does come down with the ambient cooling of being installed outdoors, but on the bench it was pretty hot to the touch. I'm told by Ubiquiti that this is not cause for concern and this is normal behavior. All right, let's let that sit for a day and do some testing this evening as well as tomorrow during the day and compare some footage. After a few days of testing, I wanted to do a quick size comparison to show you the difference between the AI Turret, the G5 Turret, and the AI Pro. So the new AI Turret, as you can see, as I showed off before, is a pretty solid, pretty large camera, meant to be mounted upside down or on the wall, like so. Comparing it to its little sibling, the G5 Turret, it's nearly double the size. Next, the AI bullet, if you have one of those already up. The face of it is roughly the same size, slightly larger, but the rest of the base of the camera is significantly larger, although it doesn't stick out from the wall as much given that it is a turret style instead of a bullet style. Comparatively speaking, on the spec side, both the AI Turret and the AI Pro have the same 1 1/8 inch sensor. It's 8 megapixels. They both have a 110-degree field of view. The AI Turret has 131 feet of IR illumination, whereas the AI Pro only has 82 feet. However, this expands to 131 feet with the AI Enhancer. The AI Turret only has 400 lumens in its spotlight. However, the AI Pro with the Vision Enhancer has 600 lumens. The much smaller G5 Turret, on the other hand, only is a 2K sensor, although has a solid 102-degree field of view and a respectable 98 feet of IR illumination, and has no spotlight, as you can see. Let's hop back over to the computer and take a look at a few of the new features, including edge recording on the micro SD card. For those who are not familiar with a Mac, what we're looking at here is Finder. This is like Explorer on Windows. This is the SD card that I pulled out of the camera. And you can see here that it created a folder called UniFi Protect. Inside the folder, it's broken down into months, and those months have days, and then those days are broken down into individual clips of 5-minute increments, as you can see where it starts at 5 minutes. Well, it starts at 000, which is midnight, 12:05, 12:10, 12:15, and so on, all the way on through, which makes it relatively easy to say, oh, I know I lost connection at this time and I needed to find this thing. So let's say that it was 1:20, so 13:20 is military time, obviously. 13:20 p.m. is 13:20 is 1 p.m., 1:20 p.m., so we can open it up, and you'll see that the footage is your regular 4K, just like you would have normally on the when you're inside of Protect. And turn the volume down on that so that it doesn't really come through here. You can see that it is 13:20 and 12 seconds, and the car goes by. I'm going to mute that, actually. Now, the thing is that it does not maintain or record any of the AI data. So no detections, no classifications, no license plate, no facial recognition. As far as I know, all of that is basically gone. In the future, maybe they'll build a way for it to reintegrate that into the system. I think that would be pretty cool. I don't know anything that, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. This is just me speculating here. I think that would be a really, really cool feature set that, something happened, the switch went offline, the network went offline, the MVR went offline, Protect was updating, whatever it was. But in that time frame, it recorded all of the necessary information to the SD card and was able to reintegrate that later. That being said, this makes it really easy to just grab all of the footage. As you can see, it's 24 hours of footage, both daytime, nighttime, etc. And now my car is in the parking spot. There we go. And I like having my car there because that's where I like to park it. But I like this as a test rig for my cameras because, let me kill the volume again. I like this as a test spot for my cameras because it makes it a challenge for the camera to be able to pick up right away individuals coming through the bushes or over, past the bushes over here, as well as getting lost behind the car and getting picked up again on the other side. And the reverse is also true. And, having the car here certainly makes that a challenge for the camera, and distance, for detections and things like that. So I'll be putting that through the paces, and this is my new standard for having this set up, and I'll be putting all my cameras side by side here, and I'll show you some of the footage from the other cameras that I have here for these times as well. Now, one thing I wanted to show you just as a proof of concept here is that on specifically, let me just, first I wanted to show you actually the file sizes on these. They're relatively small. It's 28 meg, 30 meg, 40 meg. They're 5-minute clips, and it's not like it's filming in enormous files from your iPhone or your camera, like your video camera, things like that. This is HEVC, so it's high efficiency. It's MPEG-4, so relatively compressed, but still maintaining the quality. This one's a little bit bigger. It's 70 meg. So I'm going to have to ask them what the difference is in the file sizes, what makes them larger versus smaller. Maybe it's just more motion detected, which has more pixels moving, more recorded, which I don't know. Maybe that's how it works. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just making things up because it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm trying to get this video out. But one thing I wanted to show you is that on December the 3rd at 2:45 p.m., I pulled network out of the switch that feeds the switch that is powering the camera, that the AI turret that is plugged in here, and I wanted to see what would happen. So it still had power because it's getting PoE from the switch, but the switch was no longer connected to the network at all. So again, December 3rd. So we go over to our individual days over here. This is 12/3 is December 3rd, and I said 2:45 p.m. So again, military time is going to be 1400 hours, and 45 is we just go through and we look, and here's 45. So let's go to 40 just so that we can see towards the end here. I'll move this fully into the frame. Mute this again. I'm just scrubbing through here, and there's no jumps, any issues whatsoever, and I'm going to go forward to 45, which is sometime in that bracket of 45 seconds is when I pulled network to this. And again, you're looking at the time clock here, 45, 06, 07, 08. Move it forward. There's no stuttering. There's no jittery. There's nothing. There's cars going by. It's all crisp, clear as day, beautiful. And I left network out for several hours. So let's jump forward 2 hours. It's 4:35 here. Some lady walking by with her dog. And let's see, let's scrub through here, and yeah, totally normal as if you were viewing it in Protect. So I'm very happy with the way that this came out. Really simple, straightforward, and actually it may be even a faster way to get footage off of a camera if you have something that you're looking for, you know the time frame, and you want to be able to scrub through it. If you want to just grab all of this footage from a day from this folder and throw it into a video editing software so that you can, like when I'm editing my videos, it's really easy to scrub side by side, even when you have multiple clips, side to side rather, so that you can get through and cut out the pieces that you don't need, and prepare it for a court case or insurance submissions or whatever. This actually is going to be easier than downloading a day's worth of footage piece by piece from Protect. So I definitely like having this as an option here, and I think that this is the worst the feature is ever going to be, right? It's only going to get better from here, and Ubiquiti has been really great about putting out these features and then continuing to improve them as time goes on. So that is, let me see here. I think that's the main thing I want to show you on that. All right, let's jump back over into Protect and take a look at the camera mounted and see how it's doing with detections. As you can see, I have the detections being highlighted as well as the confidence score for both the vehicle type or detection type and the color. And so you can see it's picking up as each of these cars goes by. It's actually pretty impressive, especially with my car there, how it's getting just about all of these. It doesn't always. There are definite times where it does not pick up every car that goes through, especially if it's coming from the right-hand side, where it doesn't have as much time. This is a funny one here. It actually thinks that's a motorcycle. No, Ubiquiti, that's a stroller, not a motorcycle. But that is a person, and you did detect that. So a little bit work still needs to be done on detection here and figuring out what those are. But it has, 2 wheels or 3 wheels. I guess it could be a tricycle or a motorcycle or, whatnot. But it's picking up, SUV or van, and the color, gray, sedan, 93% sure, certainty, etc. Now, as I mentioned before, having the car here in the middle does make this a bit challenging for the camera. So people do tend to drop off in the detection and then pick up again, when they're on the other side of the car. So that's a good thing for testing cameras. And you know what? It picks them up on both sides. I'm happy. Let's look now for another good example. Here's a good one. We got some nighttime visitors here. Yes, those are coyotes roaming the streets at 1:30 in the morning. And looks like they turned the spotlight on and did turn on the spotlight, and looks like they're now running off, continuing along their way. Here's me pulling up in my car at night and easily picked up the license plate as well as the white color of the car. It was calling it an SUV, and then it decided it was a sedan towards the end, but that is understandable given the profile and the proximity to the camera here. And it also even got my face. How about that? Another nighttime four-legged visitor, correctly identified as a pet or as an animal. Now here I am coming back and making a U-turn because somebody who I was giving a ride had forgotten something. And impressively, it picked up the license plate, even though I'm not sure from here that I could be able to see that given the glare on the plate. So, well done there. You'll see without the van there, it is having better performance with the detections overall. And that's, again, because it doesn't have a massive vehicle blocking most of its vision. The AI Turret costs $399 and is available for the first time with the camera dual mount, which is also compatible with the majority of Ubiquiti's camera lineup. If this video was helpful, I'd appreciate it if you used my affiliate link in the description down below. Please leave your questions and comments. I do read every single one, and I do try and get answers to your questions where I can. Please like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.